Hey, Simon.
Hello.
So, it's almost St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, I hear you're doing a soda bread.
We are doing a soda bread.
I thought I'd pitch in and help with something that I acquired. Yes, it's Coca-Cola.
Okay, are we going to drink that with the soda bread?
Well, it's soda, isn't it? It goes into bread, right?
No. Soda bread uses baking soda.
Baking soda.
Yeah.
So not Coca-Cola.
No.
No Fanta either, or any of those other brand names that we're plugging, I guess.
No, nobody pays us to plug anything on this show.
Right, so no cola.
No cola. But we are going to make a delicious 3-ingredient soda bread, which is traditional Irish bread, just for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh. But no soda.
No soda. The first ingredient in any bread is, of course,
not soda, but flour.
Not soda, but flour. You can use bread flour, you can use whole wheat flour if you want. We're just using all-purpose flour, and this is 3 1/3 cups.
3 1/3 cup?
Yep.
What is that on my side of the Atlantic?
It's still 3 1/3 cups.
Nice sneaking around that question.
Mm-hmm. Our next ingredient is
buttermilk.
Buttermilk. Which
is apparently real buttermilk, not the imitation.
No, I don't even know where you would get imitation buttermilk, but this is definitely real buttermilk.
Okay.
Yep, and we are going to use 1 3/4 cups of buttermilk. A little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how your dough comes out.
Let me guess, it's the same both sides of the Atlantic then?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yep. One of the things with this bread is that basically any type of soda bread is just these 3 ingredients to start with, and then you can add whatever you want. So you could add to this, you could add fruits or sugar or some savory ingredients, whatever you want.
But we're not cheating in this one.
We're not cheating. And our final ingredient is?
Not Coca-Cola.
Not Coca-Cola, baking soda. This is what gives your bread its rise, and we are going to be using 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
You expected me to say something about the Atlantic, didn't you?
Let's see how to make this. All right, I have 3 1/3 cups flour in a bowl right here. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now, this is your only rising agent, so make sure you've got really fresh baking soda. If it's been in your fridge, don't use it. That's meant to help your fridge stay nice and smelling good. That is not for good baking soda. So if you're going to bake with it, make sure it's fresh. Now, we're just going to mix this together with a fork. You can also, if you wanted to sift it, you could sift it as well. But we're just mixing this together to distribute the baking soda through the flour, and it will also distribute as we add the milk. Now I'm going to add 1 3/4 cups of buttermilk to this mixture. And I'm going to just start this out with a spoon, just to get it mixed up a little bit, and then once a dough starts to form, I'll start using my hands. Now, if you find that your dough is too dry and it's not coming together, you can add more buttermilk, but be careful with it because it can get really wet and sticky, and you can think that you have not quite enough, and you'll just add too much. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I will just flour my work surface. A little bit of flour out here. And then we will just turn this out onto the counter. Still a little sticky on the bottom, that's fine. So I'm going to knead this together just a little bit. This bread is not a yeasted bread that needs to be kneaded to get the gluten activated and then punched back down. I would think about it more like biscuits. So you don't really want to work it too much. You really want this to just come together so that it will be nice and soft. All right, so once you just have this formed into about, I'd say about an 8-inch round ball, make sure that it's about the same height all the way around and it's the same circumference as well as you can get it into a nice round ball. So now, as with tradition, we are going to cut across into the top. This allows the heat and the air to escape as this is growing up, so it doesn't all bubble up inside of itself. All right, I have placed this onto a floured baking sheet. This is a very well-loved baking sheet, as you can tell. This is one of my double layer baking sheets with the air in between. The reason I'm doing that is so that this doesn't burn on the bottom. A thinner baking sheet, it might burn a little bit on the bottom. You also could use a stone. A stone is much more traditional, and it will result in a nice crispy crust on the bottom. I don't have a pizza stone or a baking stone, so I'm just going to use my sheet pan. I'm going to put this into the oven at a very high temperature, 450 degrees for 15 minutes, and then I reduce the temperature down to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I will cook it for 30 minutes or until it's done. You can tell it's done if you knock on the bottom of it and it sounds hollow. Okay. This is right out of the oven. I cut into it a little bit deeper than I probably should have, so this split open a lot more, but that's fine. It's going to taste just as good. It's got a great crust on the outside, and just burned my hand, but I hope you could hear that. It's a nice hollow sound. You can also feel it. When you knock on it, you can tell that it's nice and cooked all the way through. So I'm just going to let this cool on a rack, and we will try it out in a few minutes when it's cooled down a bit. Oh, geez. Somebody really likes this soda bread.
Well, it is yummy, even though it doesn't have Coca-Cola in it.
Even if it doesn't have Coca-Cola in it, this is one of the best breads and one of the easiest breads to make. It doesn't take very much time. You don't have to wait for it to rise, and you can put it together with stuff that you normally would have in your kitchen. The buttermilk really gives it a wonderful smell, a real, yeah, doesn't it smell terrific? That real tanginess that comes with buttermilk really adds to it. It smells delicious, it tastes wonderful, and if you're going to be celebrating St. Patrick's Day anyway, might as well have something a little bit traditional.
Right.
Well, you really polished off that soda bread, Simon.
Well, it is from my side of the Atlantic, and it is an acquired taste.
It's an acquired.
One that I've acquired, as you see.
Well, what else have you
Hey,
acquired? You know, you came with a soda, and you have to leave with a soda.
Well, of course, you know, it's tit for tat, you know.
Well, you know what? Just because you've been so good, you can take that with you. How about that?
It's not as fun when you just hand it over to me.
Well, well, if people had fun making this video with us, what can they do?
They can comment down below.
Commenting down below. Why not leave a recipe that you'd like to see us try with just 3 ingredients? What else can they do?
They can share with their friends.
One of the most important things that you can do with this video or with any video on YouTube is share it. All you have to do is hit the little share button down below. You can put it on Twitter, on Facebook, on Pinterest, whatever. You can also subscribe. Subscribing will let people know when a new video has come out, so you'll get an alert.
Not just us, you know. There are other programs on the channel.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We've got George, who talks about self-esteem. We've got Sullivan, who really wants to be famous. And on Tuesdays, I'm here talking about long hair.
There's something for everyone, I guess.
There is something for everyone. Well, why don't we see... there's still a little bit of that loaf left. Why don't we try some of that?
Ooh, very good.
Thanks so much for joining us this time. We'll see you again next time.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Simon.
Hello.
How are you?
Shall we try it again?
Let's try that again.
All right.
All right. It would be good if I had a script.